welcome. My name is Complace, and today I'll be going into further detail about the Bridge MOC that I recently showcased. I hope you all enjoyed that cinematic video that I tried to do. Hopefully the editing went really well. I'm recording this at the same time that I just finished gathering the footage for that, so hopefully that went well. Yeah, so the story is the first most important thing because that'll explain a lot of my decisions that I made for this MOC. So the story is the 501st and the Separatist army on this unknown planet are engaged with one another, and the clone troopers have lost the battle. They're pulling back and retreating, and the CIS are pushing forward and advancing on their position. So that hopefully explains why there's so many droids. I know I showcased this in a few different LEGO Discords, and some of the feedback I got is why there's so many droids, you should cut that down. So hopefully that little story explains that. An additional reason why there's so many is because battle droids are, in lore, supposed to outnumber the clones like 100 to 1 or something like that. Apologies with my giant fist in the way, I'm just trying to adjust that droid so it's better angle. But yeah, the droids are supposed to overwhelm and outnumber the clones by so many that I felt it was fitting to have these many droids on the bridge. It might have been better if I had included one other clone to at least look like they're running away, but I felt with the way that I have these droids firing, that clone probably would have been shot at that point too. This clone is being shot. That laser using the red studs actually gets all the way and hits him. That is why he's now shooting straight up, because he was about to fire back, because he didn't pull back in time. But yeah, let's just go into a little bit more detail. So as you can tell, this is my attempt at practicing my gribbling skills. So that is why there's probably a little bit too much going on as far as the colors and the details concerned. This outside is supposed to be like the edge of the bridge, and this part right here is supposed to be like the guardrail that happens every so often. So if this bridge was larger than a mini-MOC, you'd see a lot more of these antennas every so often, every 16 studs to be exact. So this is just the edge, since no one's supposed to really be on it. That's why it's all jagged and stuff. I guess part of it is to prevent or help keep people off of it. And then this middle section that is more flat and actually the bridge where things would go back and forth. I was debating on putting like a small snail tank on it. However, those of you who come to my LEGO sorting streams would know all of my LEGO sets are disassembled at this time. And so I don't actually have a snail tank ready to go to use. So that is why I ended up using the battle droids instead. Sorry if it's like struggling to focus. I did something to my phone and it's being dumb. Okay, there we go. Yeah, to help give like the clones cover, that's why I added these crates. This one can move around. That's why you might have noticed when I slid this around for 360 view, that crate might have moved around. Again, apologies for the autofocusing being really dumb. But yeah, I do agree with a lot of the feedback I did get on this before I made a video on it. In the future, I will cut down on the amount of colors that I try and throw in. The point is the black is supposed to be like the most damaged of the bridge or whatnot. Like the original color is supposed to be this light gray. And then all the rubble and stuff has caused a lot of it to turn either dark gray or black. But I do see why a lot of people were like, you should cut down on the amount of color. Like cut down to using like 2 colors or something. Because it does look a bit too chaotic. And then give me 1 second and I will show you all what's going on underneath of the bridge. It's a bit of a pain to get it out of the black border that I've made for this, so give me 1 second. So while I'm holding the Mini-MOC, actually let me show you how this black border works. So it is another 16, it's the same size as a 16 by 16 plate. So this edge here and this edge would be the same size as one of those plates. And I made it so that it's adjustable. So depending on how I do it underneath of the 16 by 16 plate I use as the base, the MOC will either sit lower or higher in it depending on those things. And those tiles on the inside, those light gray ones, help me move the MOCs in and out of this border. That way I can just keep reusing this border for every MOC instead of having to make a new one every single time. So let me try to angle this in such a way that nothing like falls off except maybe that crate. Okay, this is probably the best view unless I pick it up. I do need to get that crate off though. Everything else should stay though. So this is what the underside of the bridge is. Again, this is another attempt, my attempt at greebling to just make the bridge, the underside of the bridge, if you are able to see it, a little bit more interesting. Another part of the story is there's just these jetpack troopers that are about to help out the remaining clones on the bridge so that they don't get wiped out, but they're not doing a very good job. I was originally going to have it so the jetpack troopers would be seen trying to help this clone up here, but I don't have the right jetpacks at this time to like include studs on them and make it look like they're flying around, at least in the way that I want that to look. And mostly I came up with this bridge. I had this thought a while ago, and I mentioned it on my own Discord server when someone else was looking for ideas for a mini-MOC, and unfortunately, but also fortunately, they didn't take that idea. They took a different idea, so I ended up taking and getting inspired by my own idea. And this MOC mainly happened because I went to one of my secondhand shops, and this part that I'm using for the bridge, let me put down the MOC so I can point at it. This part right here, I actually had gotten from going to that the store, the secondhand shop, and so I probably would have done a bridge still, but it would have probably looked a lot different if I did not own this piece. I only own one of it. It's very unique. I don't know what set or line or theme it's from, but I'm very glad I picked it up from that secondhand shop. Actually, quite a bit of these parts came from that shop too that day. I'm pretty sure I picked up a few of these that same day, and I picked up a few of these well, I definitely picked up a lot of these black tiles and plates. This black border was incomplete until I went there as well, because I did not have enough black tiles to make it smooth. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this MOC. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoy these mini-MOCs, because I will have a lot more coming out. I'm planning on doing a ton of mini-MOCs so I can get my MOC building skills back that I used to have in the summer, even though those MOCs I built last summer weren't the greatest either, but they were definitely miles better, or much better, than any previous MOC I had ever made. So, hope you guys enjoy this. I will have more mini-MOCs coming out in the near future. I have been Clone Plays. Remember, every clone has its roots in the original, and have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.